Imagine stepping into any space and instantly sensing a profound certainty that you innately belong there. This feeling arises not from being louder, wealthier, or more ostentatious than others, but because your very presence naturally draws individuals in. Consider the potential to inspire allure effortlessly. Envision speaking with such composure that others genuinely listen and exuding an aura that commands respect without any aggression. What if I revealed that charm, self-assurance, and genuine personal influence aren't mysterious endowments reserved for a select few, but rather proficiencies anyone can cultivate, and that the journey to mastering them commences now? On this path, we'll explore how to captivate anyone, not merely in a romantic context, but in the deepest sense of the word, to inspire, to attract, to generate a powerful pull that draws others toward you. We'll discover methods to forge unwavering self-belief that withstands pressure. And we'll uncover the profound truth about attaining true potency, not through dominance, but through persuasion, self-discipline, and presence. By the time you grasp the ultimate insight presented in this video, you will have unearthed the single most potent principle of all, one capable of redefining how you navigate life and how the world responds to you. Before we delve deeper, please take a moment to subscribe to this channel. Give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone you know who is striving to become their best self. Leave a comment with your thoughts as we progress, because what we're about to explore has the capacity to spark profound contemplation, and I'm eager to hear how these concepts resonate with you. I promise that what you'll absorb here may fundamentally alter your perception of yourself, human connections, and influence. Let's begin by confronting the initial truth. Attraction, confidence, and power all originate from the same core: self-respect. Without self-respect, every attempt to charm will appear desperate. Every display of confidence will feel like a facade, and every endeavor to project power will crumble under the slightest adversity. The philosopher Aristotle once penned that self-knowledge is the genesis of all wisdom. Similarly, self-respect is the foundation of all magnetism. Reflect on the individuals you are naturally drawn to. Often, they aren't the most conventionally attractive or the most gregarious, but they possess a unique ability to convey their energy. They are grounded, composed, and authentically themselves. Psychologists refer to this as authentic presence, the uncommon talent to project assurance without arrogance, to inspire trust without painstaking effort, and to make others feel acknowledged without needing to control the conversation. This type of presence is cultivated through a deep internal harmony. If you aim to captivate others, you must first captivate yourself. That implies falling in love with the person you are evolving into. This necessitates fostering habits and thoughts that reinforce your inherent worth. Ask yourself, if I genuinely valued myself, how would I speak, move, and make choices? How would I address challenges or rejection? People perceive when you live in alignment with your values. They can discern it in your voice, your stance, and even in your silences. Confidence, therefore, is not something you don't like an outfit before a social gathering. It is something you embody, and this embodiment is a deliberate undertaking. Research in social psychology, such as that conducted by Albert Bandura, has demonstrated that self-efficacy, the conviction in your capacity to succeed, is one of the most powerful indicators of actual achievement. This implies that the more you consistently prove to yourself that you can navigate difficulties, the firmer your confidence becomes, transforming into something unbreakable. Yet there's an additional facet to attraction and power that is frequently misunderstood. It's not about impressing everyone, but about creating an emotional experience that others yearn to revisit. Dale Carnegie, in his seminal work on human relations, observed that people seldom recall your exact words, but they invariably remember how you made them feel. If you can make someone feel inspired, esteemed, or comprehended, you are already more appealing than most. Now here's a thought for you to ponder. How frequently do you enter a room preoccupied with what others might think of you, rather than what you can offer them? The transition from self-consciousness to other consciousness is transformative. When you cease trying to perform and begin concentrating on fostering an atmosphere of warmth, interest, and inquisitiveness, you become magnetic. Your energy shifts from receiving to giving, and people instinctively desire to be close to you. This doesn't mean neglecting your own needs or feigning concern when you genuinely don't feel it. It means developing the mental agility to understand others' perspectives, to interpret the unstated dynamics of a situation, and to respond with genuine engagement. Whether in a romantic setting, a business meeting, or a casual chat, this skill renders you unforgettable. Many individuals, however, hinder their own prospects before they even begin, burdened by self-doubt and a conviction that others possess greater capabilities or inherent worth. They delay action, defer speaking, or postpone taking risks, thereby relinquishing their personal strength. The reality is that power is rarely bestowed. Rather, it is seized, not through aggression, but through self-assertion. The quiet act of standing tall, locking eyes without wavering, and articulating your truth without apology are the initial steps toward true empowerment. In the subsequent phase of our exploration, we will delve deeper into the psychology of attraction and influence, uncovering the subtle signals that evoke trust, desire, and respect in others, frequently before any words are exchanged. You will discern how body language, vocal tone, and personal energy sculpt others' perceptions of you, and how to deliberately align these components to your benefit. To comprehend how to captivate anyone and cultivate unshakable confidence, we must examine the groundwork of influence, the human mind's innate responses. Long before rational thought, individuals react to energy, nonverbal cues, and emotional harmony. In fact, neuroscientists studying mirror neurons have discovered that we subconsciously interpret and mirror the emotions and energy of those around us. This implies that when you exude conviction and tranquility, others feel more comfortable in your presence, which, in turn, amplifies your magnetism. Recall the last time you encountered someone who appeared utterly at ease with themselves. Most likely, you first noticed their posture. Shoulders relaxed, yet not slumped. Chin slightly raised. Eyes maintaining a steady gaze without being intimidating. Their movements were deliberate, unhurried. Without uttering a single word, they projected both authority and approachability. This epitomizes the nuanced skill of physical presence. The body communicates before the mouth does, and often with greater impact. Standing upright conveys self-assurance, whereas fidgeting or avoiding eye contact signals insecurity. This is why notable leaders, compelling speakers, and accomplished seducers all dedicate themselves to mastering their nonverbal communication. You can commence by focusing on the fundamentals. Walk with purpose, maintain a stable stance, and practice the discipline of stillness. An individual capable of stillness in a world perpetually in motion radiates confidence. Yet beyond the physical form lies the voice. Tone carries significantly more weight than the actual words. A confident tone is not necessarily loud. It is consistent, measured, and inviting. Imagine conveying a simple statement like, "It's good to see you." Now, contrast uttering it in a hurried, distracted manner versus a calm, attentive one. The meaning shifts entirely when you slow down and infuse your words with sincerity, thereby forging a connection. Genuine allure, however, does not involve manipulating others into desiring you. It is about fostering an environment where they naturally do. The French philosopher Voltaire once remarked, "Love truth, but pardon error." Similarly, a compelling individual embraces authenticity, including their imperfections. Perfection feels cold and distant, while authenticity feels warm and inviting. People are not drawn to flawless facades. They are drawn to authentic human beings who are confident enough to reveal vulnerability. This is where confidence intertwines with empathy. To captivate someone's intellect and emotions, you must be able to perceive them, truly perceive them, without judgment. Ask questions that transcend superficiality. Listen not merely to their words, but to the underlying emotions. When someone senses your genuine interest in their inner world, they associate you with comfort, trust, and excitement. This combination is irresistible. Consider this. In his research on societal influence, psychologist Robert Cialdini identified liking as a fundamental tenet of persuasion. Individuals are more readily influenced by those they favor, and people favor those who make them feel good about themselves. This does not imply insincere compliments or disingenuous flattery, which are transparent and often counterproductive. It means genuinely recognizing admirable qualities in others and communicating that you appreciate those traits. A deeper aspect of this principle is emotional leadership. Every social interaction possesses an emotional current, and whoever establishes that current wields subtle power in the exchange. If you maintain composure, others become calmer. If you are enthusiastic, others become more invigorated. Learning to guide the emotional atmosphere of a space is one of the most potent forms of captivation and influence. One of the most underestimated aspects of achieving true empowerment is the capacity to remain unaffected by gratuitous negativity. This does not signify indifference or aloofness. It signifies maintaining emotional autonomy. If someone insults you or challenges you unfairly, the insecure response is to become defensive or retaliate. The powerful response is to maintain composure, reacting with clarity and grace. Such demeanor conveys to the world that your self-assurance is resilient. Indeed, historical accounts are replete with individuals who captivated others not merely through charm, but by their unshakable composure. Consider Nelson Mandela, who maintained his dignity and serenity through decades of incarceration. Or Eleanor Roosevelt, famous for her declaration, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." Their allure stemmed not from chasing validation, but from embodying an intrinsic certainty. Let's apply this principle personally. If you wish to attract others, you must first cease the perpetual quest for external approval. The paradox of attraction lies in the inverse relationship between your need for someone's affirmation and your magnetism. The more you crave approval, the less appealing you become. Genuine charisma originates from desiring without desperately needing, from appreciating attention without depending on it. When your life is rich with passions, purpose, and pursuits independent of others' judgments, you exude an appealing autonomy. Ask yourself, if I were to encounter my own self at a social gathering, would I find myself intriguing? Would I desire to prolong the conversation? If the answer is ambiguous, then concentrate on evolving into the person you would find captivating. Embrace new learning, cultivate diverse skills, and nurture your innate curiosity. Individuals committed to continuous self-improvement radiate an inherent spark that naturally draws others, as growth itself possesses a compelling quality. In our subsequent discussion, we will delve into the strategic psychological aspects of attraction and confidence. We'll explore how to employ subtle, ethical persuasion to shape outcomes, how to communicate with both precision and charm, and how to forge a personal presence that feels simultaneously authentic and irresistible. We will also uncover methods to transform everyday interactions into genuine opportunities for connection and influence, avoiding any sense of being forced or manipulative. If genuine allure originates from self-respect and a strong presence, and confidence blossoms from consistent self-efficacy, then the logical next step involves mastering the nuanced art of influencing with integrity. Influence isn't about controlling others. Rather, it's about adeptly shaping the emotional and psychological landscape within which decisions are formed. When you grasp how individuals think, feel, and react, you can communicate in ways that inspire, guide, and even profoundly impact them. A foundational principle here is framing. Framing refers to the manner in which you present an idea to ensure its most favorable reception. The identical information can be perceived vastly differently depending on the chosen frame. A confident communicator intuitively frames situations to cultivate trust and openness. For instance, instead of stating, "I need your help," you might offer, "Together, we could achieve something remarkable." The underlying facts remain constant, yet the perception shifts from an obligation to an exciting prospect. Framing synergizes powerfully with storytelling. Humans are inherently predisposed to respond to narratives. Stories circumvent the rational mind and resonate directly with the emotional core. An individual skilled in weaving captivating tales possesses a distinct advantage in both seduction and persuasion. The philosopher Plato keenly observed this, noting, "Those who tell the stories rule society." Whether in a romantic exchange, a business negotiation, or a public discourse, stories forge a shared emotional reality that mere words often cannot replicate. Beyond framing and storytelling, timing plays a pivotal role. The discerning ability to know when to speak and when to remain silent is a hallmark of both seductive and powerful personalities. Silence, when employed deliberately, can heighten anticipation, convey profound thoughtfulness, or even prompt the other person to fill the void, often revealing more than they intended. A truly confident individual exhibits no fear of pauses, for they are not driven by an urgent need to establish their worth. Now, let's turn our attention to charisma, that enigmatic quality rendering some people irresistible, irrespective of exceptional looks or wealth. Charisma represents a harmonious blend of warmth and authority. If you project only warmth without authority, people may like you but lack respect. Conversely, if you exhibit only authority without warmth, you might earn respect but foster distance. The truly magnetic individual strikes a balance, generating a sense of both security and excitement in equal measure. To cultivate this, one must consciously learn to modulate their energy. When warmth is appropriate, you engage in active listening, display open body language, and express genuine appreciation. When authority is required, you speak with clarity, uphold firm boundaries, and project unwavering certainty. The ability to fluidly transition between these modes as the situation dictates is a skill that can be diligently practiced and refined. Confidence and power are also intrinsically linked to the capacity for gracefully handling rejection and setbacks. The crucial distinction between those who flourish socially and those who recede into the background isn't that the former never encounter rejection. Rather, it's their propensity to interpret rejection as constructive feedback, not as a definitive judgment. When you internalize the belief that every experience serves as a lesson, your confidence gains remarkable resilience. In the realm of influence, such resilience subtly signals immense strength. Another vital principle is the law of scarcity. In human psychology, things that are scarce or in limited supply naturally hold more value for us. If you're perpetually accessible, continuously seeking, or endlessly pursuing, your presence tends to diminish in impact. Cultivating a life rich with experiences beyond a single relationship or interaction, not oversharing every aspect of your existence, and generating moments of absence all contribute to an aura of significant worth. This isn't about manipulative tactics. It's about structuring your life so that your time and focus are genuinely treasured. Furthermore, the significance of emotional intelligence cannot be overlooked. Daniel Goleman, who brought the term into widespread recognition, defines it as the capacity to identify, comprehend, and manage emotions both in oneself and in others. A high degree of emotional intelligence enables you to assess social dynamics, pick up on subtle mood shifts, and adjust your approach accordingly. This makes you adaptable, personable, and effective across various social and professional settings. Consider emotional intelligence as the guiding force for your persuasive abilities and self-assurance. Without it, you might possess charm but will misinterpret situations and lose influence. With it, you can navigate even the most delicate interactions effortlessly, leaving others feeling understood and respected. Finally, there's the principle of consistency. Individuals tend to trust and follow those whose actions consistently match their words over time. Inconsistency erodes confidence, not just in the perception of others, but within yourself. Each instance you fulfill a promise, no matter how small, strengthens your internal sense of reliability and self-worth. This quiet self-assurance is among the most compelling qualities you can exude. As we conclude our exploration, we'll uncover the most profound realization of all: the principle that unifies personal charm, unwavering confidence, and genuine influence into a singular, indomitable force. This insight, once grasped, will fundamentally alter not only how others perceive you, but also how you view yourself. It will clarify why the most captivating figures throughout history didn't pursue approval, but lived in a way that made approval an inevitable outcome. We've journeyed through the fundamentals of attraction, the development of steadfast confidence, and the ethical mastery of influence. Now, it's time to reveal the ultimate truth that binds them all, the principle that will elevate everything we've discussed into an unstoppable power. This truth is deceptively straightforward. The most profound levels of attraction, the deepest confidence, and authentic power all stem from living with complete authenticity, aligned with your highest values. While this may sound poetic, it is firmly rooted in psychology, philosophy, and observed human behavior. The most magnetic individuals are those who exhibit internal congruence. Their thoughts, words, and actions flow in a unified direction. There's no internal conflict, no facade that slips under pressure, no struggle to maintain a false persona. This kind of congruence is rare, and precisely because of its rarity, it is incredibly captivating. Why is this so potent? Because humans are inherently drawn to clarity. When we sense someone truly knows who they are, what they stand for, and where they are headed, we instinctively trust them. They become a stable point in a turbulent world. This explains why leaders who embody authenticity inspire loyalty, why lovers who express themselves honestly forge deeper connections, and why friends who are consistent in their presence become invaluable. To embody this level of authenticity, you must first pinpoint your core values. Not the values you believe you should possess, or those society dictates are correct, but the principles you genuinely live by when no one else is observing. Write them down. Refine them until they are unshakable. Then, evaluate your daily actions against them. Each time you act in alignment, your confidence expands. Each time you deviate, even in minor ways, you weaken your foundation. This alignment doesn't guarantee universal adoration. In fact, the opposite often occurs. Living authentically means you will naturally distance those whose values don't align with yours. But therein lies the paradox. By ceasing to chase universal approval, you become infinitely more attractive to those who genuinely resonate with who you are. Your presence then acts as a filter, naturally attracting suitable connections and opportunities while allowing misaligned ones to fade away. Attraction rooted in authenticity is the only kind that endures. The world offers numerous tactics, tricks, and superficial strategies for attracting others, but these are fragile, dependent on constant upkeep. The moment you're tired, distracted, or unmotivated, they disintegrate. Authentic attraction, conversely, is effortless because it is simply the natural expression of your inner state. You don't need to strategize how to be attractive. You simply are. When authenticity merges with self-respect, emotional intelligence, and the capacity to guide the emotional atmosphere, it creates a magnetic field that is impossible to replicate. This is when people truly begin to seek you out. Opportunities seem to materialize effortlessly, with influence flowing naturally. You transition from someone striving for recognition to someone who captivates attention without people quite understanding why. Genuine power originates here. Power devoid of authenticity is fragile, requiring external control and constant effort to uphold an image. Conversely, authentic power is resilient because it's grounded in truth. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once penned, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." This encapsulates the essence of authentic power, acting and speaking solely in alignment with your principles, irrespective of the cost. Such integrity commands respect rather than demanding it. There's an additional facet to this truth. Authenticity liberates you from fear. Much social anxiety, fear of rejection, and hesitancy stem from concerns about how others will perceive the self we present. When that presentation is simply our true self, there's nothing to defend. You cannot be caught in pretense if you're not pretending. This absence of fear emanates as confidence, naturally enhancing your persuasiveness and impact. So, how can this be put into practice? Start modestly. Be candid in conversations where you might typically remain silent. Uphold your boundaries even when inconvenient. Pursue goals that genuinely excite you, even if they diverge from others' expectations. Over time, these minor acts of courage accumulate, culminating in a life that feels complete and unwavering. Remember, the journey to becoming magnetic, self-assured, and influential isn't a performance. It's a metamorphosis. You're not adding layers to impress others, but rather shedding the superfluous until your genuine self remains, unapologetically prominent. When you embody this, seduction transcends clever lines or manipulative tactics. It becomes the intrinsic pull people experience towards truth, confidence, and inner strength. In a world where many wear facades, being your authentic self is the most audacious and compelling act possible. Embrace these concepts and start implementing them today. Observe how people react when you are fully present, congruent, and authentically yourself. Notice your growing confidence as your actions align with your principles. Experience the subtle, irresistible transformation as you cease attempting to be powerful and simply become powerful. Ultimately, the greatest seduction isn't making others fall for you, but compelling them to perceive the world differently after encountering you. This transformation commences the moment you choose to embody your most authentic self.